So welcome to our Ktech Ambassador meeting. We are so glad to see your smiling faces, even though you're in a frame. I know many of you have been part of numerous Zoom calls, so we're glad that you decided to spend the Zoom call with us today. I want to welcome two new ambassadors to the Ktech Ambassador team. First is Georgia Hendricks with Regions Bank. So, hi Georgia, she's on the screen. The next person is Amanda Williams. She is with SCI. She is not able to join us today, but she is one of our new ambassadors. We also have a new Ktech instructor, John Rice. So John, wave, you're on the call as well. We're glad to have him as part of the instructional team. And we also have Mayor Finley, who was talking earlier, and Mayor Finley is going to share a few remarks with us this morning. Paul?
All right. Well, good morning to everybody, and
you're muted.
It's good to see everybody, even from afar. We continue to, we were just talking about it a minute ago. From a community standpoint, we're working through the unknown, and in this case, it scares people. It's the fear of the unknown and change are two things that in many instances everybody has difficulty with. And I think one of the neat things about what I've seen with Kids to Love is that they've embraced change. They've been prepared, and where very few have. And I think a lot of that goes back to Lee's personality, and a lot of times I do personality assessment, and she isn't afraid of that, and her team is right on board with her. But what hasn't changed is the need for what Kids to Love does, and that what Ktech's doing with it under that umbrella, and that is making sure that we make the lives of foster kids better, short term, long term, and that we use something like a Ktech from a workforce development standpoint to make a difference for our community. And I always go back to as in city government, we're responsible for a lot of things, but we're not responsible for everything, and we just can't focus and do what's proper for so many of our residents, and in this case, so many of our foster kids. And so the beauty of what nonprofits like Kids to Love and then Ktech do is pick up that and in this case, take it beyond anything that we could ever imagine. And as ambassadors, what I continue to recognize is I have the ability to, in many instances, promote what we're doing and why we're doing it. And I think that's why this is important as an ambassador, that we continue to understand the strengths of what the organization is doing, the concerns that they have, and then how in turn we tie people together with the opportunities that are available for them to support Ktech and Kids to Love. And I think each of us has a different reason that we're on right now, that we're in a position to support. And even just giving you two examples, I think a lot of times, I'm one of those who believes in the organization. And may not have the personal connection that others have. Others want to just make a difference for the people. And so it doesn't matter why we're on this call. I think we all have the ability as we leave to continue to be a voice for Kids to Love and for Ktech, and then in turn help continue to make a difference. So I'm very appreciative of Lee, of Dorothy, of the entire team that continues to make a big difference in our community and for our community. And glad to have just a couple minutes today to talk and then listen to the rest of it. So with that said, Dorothy, I'll hand it back to you.
We are so thankful that you are part of our team and you help us so much. And you're also doing sort of amazing things with the city of Madison too, and the COVID crisis. So thanks for all your help there. Our team has done an amazing job pivoting and making changes during this COVID crisis. And I'm just very thankful for the way we've worked actually harder than maybe before, because we are just intent on continuing to serve the way we need to. So kudos to our team for all they've done to make everything happen. And Paul mentions Lee's visionary leadership, and we couldn't have done anything without Lee's visionary leadership. She's enabled us to do new and exciting things that we're going to share with you today, And we're just very thankful because she has continued to lead in this challenging time. So we're very thankful for her leadership. This is going to be a very exciting meeting. We've worked really hard on it. Hopefully everything is going to go the way we want it to. I'm sure it will. And we want you to stay with us. We want you to stay for our big announcement. So don't miss our big announcement. And of course, it's happening at the end. So make sure you stay with us. You're not going to be with us until 1 o'clock. So don't worry about that. Stay with us and hear what we've got to say. So what you might want to do is mute your microphone and also go to speaker view, because Lee is going to do a presentation for you to explain the why behind Kids to Love, the why behind Ktech. So I'd like to invite Lee to do this segment of our presentation. Thanks, Lee.
All right, thanks guys. Hold on, let me unmute my microphone. Let me go back. Okay, here we go. We're screen sharing. We are killing it with technology today. Y'all just buckle up, right? So I'm making sure that it's, okay, are we there? All right. So, you know, I wanted to go back and really visit the why behind why Ktech started to begin with. You know, Kids to Love, we established in 2004 as a nonprofit, and our mission is to meet the immediate needs of foster children. And since starting, we've had a direct impact on the lives of more than 265,000 children living in foster care. And that's really our start. And so when we look at the overall big picture of Kids to Love and our umbrella, we do everything from finding forever families, meeting immediate needs, and that can be something as prominent as a headstone that our organization was asked to provide for a foster youth that was killed tragically a couple of weeks ago. We recruit and we train more foster parents. That is critical for us. We also have all these outreach programs, Camp Hope, our new campus in Tennessee, Davidson Farms, which is a critical home to so many girls, and education is a big part of what we do. We just wrapped up our More Than a Backpack program with more than 5,600 backpacks across 4 states, college scholarships, our Ktech program, Life Lab that supports necessary skills for our kids going through, our students going through Ktech, Bridge to Independence, we're going to talk about that. Christmas is just around the corner, Bibles, and we've got this international MEF tip line that you probably don't hear a whole lot about. So today I really want to talk about the facts behind Ktech, and this is the why we do what we do. So when you look at the facts, there are over 6,000 kids in foster care in Alabama at any given time. And more than 1,500 of those kids are over the age of 14. Between 75 and 80% of foster children who age out of care end up in prison. 75 to 80%. So what we're seeing is foster care is a pipeline to prison, and that's just not okay with me. So when you factor in the 1,500 that are going to age out, you look at between 1,100 and 1,200 that are going to be going into the prison system within the next 3 to 5 years. And then you factor in, can you see? I can't see. The cost of what it takes to house a prisoner a day. You're looking at a 20-year sentence, 7,300 days on that, $44 a day. That's $321,000. Now that matters to you and me because we're taxpayers. So when you factor in the influx of those aging out, just with foster care alone, we're talking between $361 and $385 million that is going to come out of the pocket of our taxpayers. The number one reason children come into foster care is poverty, and the number one reason they stay there is a lack of education. So now that you have all of these hard facts, it's going to help you understand the why Ktech matters. Foster children in education, only 50% will receive a high school diploma. Only 10% of foster youth will attend college, and of that 10%, only 3% will graduate. So now I'm going to be the mom, and I'm going to brag on my babies a little bit. These are all of our scholarship recipients over the past 16 years through Kids to Love. We've awarded more than 700 college scholarships. We have graduates that are nurses, social workers, firefighters. We even have a lawyer in our roster. So I tell people that one of my kids is a Juris Doctorate, so I'll never have to pay a legal bill again. It really is changing the landscape of foster care. But what we saw as we would award these scholarships is not every child, whether they're a foster child or your child, is cut out for college. And that's where Ktech comes in. So you look at Ktech, and we launched this in 2016. You're looking at every graduating class since then. Ktech is the only program under the Kids to Love umbrella that serves not only children in foster care, but anyone who needs the support of skill set. Some of our success stories, and you're going to hear from one of them in a little bit, that you met last year. Hold on. I love technology. I hit my button too soon. Yes, just a reminder. And we're also excited that 116 certifications have been awarded since we started, and let me just say 3 years. What's come out of Ktech is a new program that we've had to develop out of a necessity, and that's called our Bridge to Independence. What we find are our children that are aging out of foster care, they've got no one who has their back. And so these are just some of our kids that we have helped not only on the education side, but also on the housing side, on transportation, feeding, you name it. And when we take on our kids, we serve them and meet their needs across every capacity. What I like about all of this is if you see they're all alumni, 4 of the 5 Ktech alumni. And if you look, every one of them, they're employed. That's huge. So I just kind of want to talk some about, the personal side, because these are statistics and these are a wrap up and we make it look easy, but I got to tell you, it has not been an easy journey for so many of these kids. I first met Willie when he was 12 years old. That was in 2006, back when I was at that other station, and we would tell these stories every week of kids that needed to have forever families. We found several foster families for him, but Willie was never adopted. And unfortunately, that is a theme that we have with so many of our older foster youth. We reconnected in December of 2016. He attended Ktech in 2017, and now he is successful in graduating. I love to share the progression of Eric, not only because of his growth, but also the length of his hair. If you see Eric, he has really grown into an amazing young man. First met him in 2013 again. We reconnected at our leadership camp through Camp Hope, another program under the Kids to Love umbrella, in 2016. He came for an interview in 2018. He's a Ktech alumni. And we did a really cool thing through Redstone. And if you guys don't know about this, and Alka, I see you're on the call. This may be something for you guys to utilize too, and I'm sure Ian could help you with this. Redstone has a loan program that nonprofits and ministries can help underwrite or co-sign the loan. So when Eric went for that first car loan, he had a great job. He was making the money, but he just didn't have the credit. Most kids have parents to co-sign. So we stepped up and we were the one that sponsored the loan for him to be able to obtain his first car last year. And again, that's a program through Redstone, and not to be a commercial for them, but I'm sure Ian could fill in those gaps. Another one of our amazing alumni, LaDerek. We met him in 2015. Again, told his story on one of those other places. Ktech alumni in 2019, and he is now working. And so this really is a piece that when you look at the facts, and I just want to go back to the facts, the number one reason why children come into foster care is poverty. The number one way out of poverty is education. With over 6,000 kids in foster care and 1,500 over the age of 14, we know the statistic between prison and what it's going to cost us. To us, it really is making that investment in one life. And when you think about the difference that you can make when you invest in one life, and we've just shown you 5, you're going to hear even more from Takia in just a little bit. But when you look at the facts and the difference that it makes, I just want you to understand, and I want you to feel good about being part of this program that is not only changing the landscape in our community and changing lives, but really supporting the workforce and doing it in a way that no other organization that we have found anywhere in the country is doing to support children in foster care and really honing in that workforce lane like Ktech is doing and like Kids to Love is doing. We truly are changing lives, and we are doing that every day. So I want you to hear, I can share the stills all the time. And I love bragging on my kids. I love showing the pictures. I do believe that is, there is strength there and a proof for performance. But, you know, last year when we had the luncheon, you had a chance to hear from a young lady that had just come into our fold, and it started in Ktech. And I tell people all the time, I tell people about her, and I tell this to her, that if I could clone Takia, no pressure, I would certainly clone this young lady. She really has just embraced all the opportunities, but I don't want to tell her story. I want Takia to tell you her story herself. This is Takia.
Good morning. I'm so happy. Good morning. I'm so happy to be back speaking with you guys. This group is very special to me because this was the first time I shared my story last year. So you guys played a big part in that. I just want to briefly tell a piece of my story for those who are new. I came into foster care when I was 6 because I had a mom and she was an alcoholic. Me and my 6 other siblings came into foster care. It was very tough, and eventually we all got split up. So that was very hard growing up and not having a connection with any of my siblings. One of my older sisters actually passed away once she graduated. She passed away in Montgomery, and that was very tough on me. So once I graduated, I just I felt rushed. So I moved off to college and went into the independent living program in Birmingham, and I kind of just lost my way. I was attending school, but I wasn't doing very well in school. And at that point, I had just given up on believing that I could be anything, more than what my mom was. So I was just struggling, and my social worker at the time came in and just said, well, there's something we'll have to do. And she said, well, I heard my supervisor talking about a program called Ktech. So she talked to me about Ktech, and me always being from different foster homes with different parents, I just didn't have the confidence to believe that I could do Ktech. So she mentioned it to me, and I was just like, no, I don't think that's the program for me. Well, probably about 3 months later, I realized this is really serious. I actually seen one of my friends who I've known from foster care. She was out on the side of the road, homeless. And at that moment, I realized this is not what I want to do with my life. I do not want to wait too late or just give up. So I called her and I said, well, hey, we can look into it. So that's what we did, and we drove up to Ktech, to Kids to Love, and we met with the whole team, and they were amazing. And in my interview, when I spoke with them, I immediately was like, well, I'm not very good at math, and I don't believe I could do it. And of course, they told me, well, that's not true. We'll be here. We'll make sure you get through it. We'll do whatever we need to do to make sure that you succeed in Ktech. And sure enough, that's what they did. I got accepted into Ktech, and I grew really close with the team. I actually graduated from Ktech with the soldering, robotics, and mechatronics. That was a big step for me. And then not only did that happen, but in December of last year, I emancipated, and I've been out of foster care for 253 days now. And I was super nervous because when you think of going out on your own, most foster kids are looking forward to that. But once reality sunk in, after having so much support, it was kind of scary going out into the world. And I spoke with Beverly Owings. She's at Davidson Farms because I was a girl at Davidson Farms. So I spoke with her and kind of talked to her about how unsure I was about going out. And she said, well, wherever you go, we'll be here to support you. So probably a couple weeks later, I sat down with Lee Marshall and Beverly, and we spoke, and they said, well, the girls love you at Davidson Farms, and we would love to have you as a mentor there. I immediately kind of got emotional because I really had grown close with the girls. So now, today, I'm a mentor at Davidson Farms. Ktech gave me so much confidence that I continued my education. So I'm attending Calhoun for social work right now. I'm excelling at pretty much everything in school. And I'm just super excited to be the person I am today. And Kids Love and Ktech has played a huge part in that. Ktech boosts and it just boosts me in general. I came out of my shell a lot, and it taught me a lot of skills that you don't think you'll get out of it. But those life labs taught me about budgeting and just speaking in general, job interviews, things that I just wasn't looking to get from Ktech. It gave me a lot of self-esteem. So Ktech played a huge part in that. Not only did I graduate from Ktech, but now Ktech's like my family. I still come to Kids Love. I have a great relationship with the teachers and Dorothy. So it's been a really bumpy ride, but I'm happy to be where I am today. So, yeah.
So you might want to ask them questions.
If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Okay, does anyone have any questions?
I just want to jump back in and say that
When I saw how amazing Takia was, you know, offering a position to join our team at the farm, this was the first time that we've had the chance to do that with one of our alumni. And so
I was so glad that she said yes, and she has been amazing to help our girls navigate at the farm. The hard life, because if anybody understands what she does. So if you guys don't have any additional questions, thank you so much, Takia. And I'm going to turn it back over to Dorothy.
So we love Takia, as Lee said. She was amazing. The great thing about her class was that she was the one that got them all connected. She set up their own communication system, and they were all very connected like their own family. So it was a really cohesive class, class 11, who graduated in the snow. Yes, we remember that day. We're thankful not only for our students, but we're also thankful for each of you. And Annette Statham is one of our ambassadors we're going to highlight today. She is the Senior Human Resource Manager at Ktech, and she has passion and commitment to make a difference for students. In fact, she has 4 graduates that work at Ktech. And she is currently involved with a crisis at work. I know none of you understand that because everybody has these days. But we got her on video to share with us about her commitment to Ktech and her students.
Director for Ktech, and I am currently an ambassador for Ktech and Kids to Love. And my work with Ktech and Kids to Love is a passion not only for me, but a passion for Ktech. We chose to go down this road with Ktech so that we could help develop students coming out of the Ktech school into manufacturing industry and help them find careers that would last them, you know, through college years, and even if they chose to stay in that industry through a lifetime. I serve also on the Alabama State Rehab Council, and as an ambassador for Ktech, I am able to reach out to people who may not have the opportunity to start out in a company and work through a career. And so sometimes that also requires some life lesson help, as well as coaching and mentoring about work life, you know, absenteeism, you know, anything to do with external stuff at home, bills, getting situated with figuring out how to pay bills and go to school and still work. Ktech also works with Ktech on doing Life Lab for their students that are going through the megatronics and solder training. We come over and we hold interview sessions. We preview the resumes and then we have mock interviews with them. We currently have 4 Ktech graduates that work at Ktech. I think the quality of the Ktech students is very good because they go through a lot of training. Not only do they go through the megatronics and possibly the solder training for Ktech, but also they have a lot of the life lessons that they may not get in a regular classroom environment. The best thing about being an ambassador for Ktech is I get to spend time helping develop young adults and help them mold their careers and possibly some of their life decisions that may help them be better people in the future.
That was amazing. We love to see others embrace our graduates, and they're doing great things. So thank you so much. We know unemployment is at an all-time high, and we know that people need to get to work right now. We also believe that everyone in our community deserves a right to achieve their highest potential. So that is why we are propelling Ktech into a new era. Please watch these videos. Midway through Class 12, we felt the impact of COVID. Our team pivoted and took instruction virtual. The switch, while challenging, did prove to be very successful. We were able to continue class and life labs with minimum disruption. Our graduation was held virtually, and it turns out a small class certainly proved to be a blessing in COVID. During the quarantine, our team continued to work. We released Ktech swag, our new t-shirts, our mobile billboards for Ktech. We also launched our new website, goktech.org. Students can't come to us? No problem. We produced a virtual 3D tour. Potential students and industry partners can take the tour from the safety of their phone. Class 13 is starting week 3. They've successfully finished the math review and have started coursework. We've put safety measures in place for both our students and our teams. Daily temperature checks, required masks, and thanks to our education partner, Huntsville Steamworks, custom fitted and installed plexiglass dividers for the classroom.
Virtual reality, the future today. Immersive, hands-on learning, state-of-the-art instruction in the palm of your hand. Taking our classroom to students, bringing job skills to life. Ktech VR, launching today.
We are so excited to share our VR announcement with you. We hope you will investigate. We'll be sharing a lot more information with you about VR. We know that in the pandemic, there's been a lot of uncertain times. But what we do know at Ktech, there are things that we know are true. And that truth is that as we've evolved our digital offerings, that will enable us to exist in this post-COVID world and allow us to re-energize the workforce. We think this is amazing. We're so excited that we share this with you today. We thank you for your support. We know many of you have made your financial commitment, and we thank you for that. Encourage others to do the same. I do want to open it up to any questions or thoughts that any of you might have. But we're just thrilled you're here today. We promise we get right to the point and get you out of here quickly. So do people have questions for me or for our team?
Hey, Dorothy. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just trying to find out if y'all could broadcast or push out the link for your virtual tour. I mean, I suspect it's on your site, but it'd be good for us to go and receive that, and I can share that a lot easier through an email.
The virtual tour is the Ktech website at the top. But I will, what we're going to do is we're going to email all of the links for the videos that we shared with you today. We'll also give you a link to that on the website. And then we're going to give you some links for the videos you saw today. We're also going to launch VR today on our media platforms. And there are other announcements that we'll make in regards to VR in the next couple of weeks. What else? Are you guys excited?
Very.
Yeah, I think
Yes,
so.
we're very proud of you.
Yes. I can't really tell.
Amazing.
I think
Well, and just to reiterate a little bit about how we're going to utilize VR, we're going to do that several different ways right now. For instance, today in Life Lab, our Ktech students will be working as teams and detonating a bomb in virtual reality. We had a chance to do that yesterday. We lived through the first one, got a little cocky, then we died 3 times. So it's going to be amazing for them to be able to work and use this technology. Another thing that we're going to be able to do, and this is part of the partnerships that we'll be announcing in several weeks, is we're going to be able to start with our girls at Davidson Farms, for instance, and really do some career exploration and then plug them into some career training. This will also allow us to expand our offering of certifications at Ktech through VR. And we will be eliminating the fact that COVID is segregating the society, because through VR, we can reach people through virtual platforms no matter where they are. So we are just excited to have this and use it across all of our Kids to Love and Ktech platforms to support what we're already doing in education.
Dorothy, Lee, I just want to say
Sure, that
Hold on
was
a second, Mark's got a question.
okay.
I just want to say that you ladies are doing an outstanding job, and we appreciate it. It's you and your team are amazing.
Yes, the way that you propel way beyond
Thank you, Mark.
adversity
We
is
appreciate your
outstanding.
support.
Put that in your
Okay, now I can hear people.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tiffany. Say that again.
No, I was just going to say the way that you propel way past and beyond adversity is amazing. And thank you so much for all that you do to serve your kids and our community. I was just messaging Lee saying you cannot get on one of these calls and not feel the energy and the passion that all of you have to serve our foster children. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. That makes a lot. Thank you.
I think a lot of the things you guys put in place too is amazing. When we look at industry, it's very similar. So you didn't slow down at all. We did the Life Labs. You did it virtual right away. It was awesome. I just saw your classrooms, which I hadn't seen before, and that's what we're doing here. So we can all still work, but we're safe. So you all put the dividers in, and so everything you're doing, and we use the VR technology for our training also, and it's amazing. I wasn't sold on it in the beginning, but we're using it now, and it's a huge cost savings, but it's a huge technology increase, and it actually helps with the training of we call them their kids now, because so many people are coming into industry that are young. They love that, and they take to it a lot better than a lot of the other things we're doing. So that's going to be a huge boon. I think that's great.
Yeah, it's a great way for them to learn.
I would just like to say that the energy that y'all have put into this broadcast is probably one of the best Zoom meetings I've been on in a while.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, accepting the award for best Zoom meeting.
Well, we have worked really hard on it.
Yeah, it's been a huge team effort. You know, that's another thing with the pivot and the propel that our team has done. We've completely restructured our entire Kids to Love team in the middle of all this. We brought in an operations director. Tasha Jones joined us. Chris Olson, our new creative director. Carrie Marchese, our new development director. Claire Salm, our new marketing and events person. So we pivoted early, and we've got a great team with new energy. And I just think that that's the result of what you're seeing today.
Absolutely. Yeah. we're even sharing, Leah's given me her earpiece so that we can both hear. We share everything.
That's right.
Yeah.
We'll sanitize it later.
Yeah. Anything else?
Hey, Dorothy.
Yes.
Hey, Joe Hollingsworth. Just wanted to ask, I need to plead my ignorance on VR. I know about VR when it comes to, kids' video games and this kind of thing, but how does it apply in the training realm? Can you help me with that?
I can. And if you see the video on the, I know it's reverberating. Hold on a minute. Okay. If you see the video on our Ktech lab, that shows you the 3D. When you have the headsets on, you're actually immersed in the experience. So with VR, you're actually, Scott mentioned the training that they were doing. They actually put together VR training where the folks that are learning it are actually immersed with the headsets on and learning how to do particular things that are needed at his site. So we have, Lee mentioned the career exploration. So you get in the VR headsets and you'll go through and actually experience something that shows you what it's like to be a first responder. So it basically puts you in a situation that is real and you can be in there. You can actually also enter into a classroom, a video classroom where if one person has a headset and you have a headset, you can join, you have an avatar, you can actually join in the classroom with somebody that might have a headset in another area and do a lecture. Does that help?
Yeah, it does. So would VR be done in the classroom or as a way to do training remotely?
We're going to use it across many platforms, and one of that partnerships that we're going to be announcing soon, but you guys were letting you in on everything, is the amazing Christy Bain and her resources at AIDT. Mm-hmm. So when we shared with her what we were wanting to do, and she's given us access. So for instance, when Ed has the students in the mechatronics lab, they do different lab activities. And a lot of times it's repetitive. It's doing the same thing over and over until they can get better. Well, just one example is there will be the same type of lab simulation activity that Ed can then put our students in that VR headset. And so it just gives us another way. We all know with kids these days, if we can gamify things and put them in headsets, then the engagement is instant, the comprehension is greater. And I'm just going to tell you, when they get in these headsets today and do this virtual escape room, they are not going to want to get out of these headsets. It's going to be that big for them.
And if I could add,
and you could all, any of you, if you want to. Christy's want to say something. Okay, go ahead, Christy.
On an industry side, as Scott mentioned also, and Lee and Dorothy, we have been using this virtual because we can actually take people and put them with what would be very costly consumables, and they can go through the process, and we're not going through the expense of the consumables. And then once we know they've mastered it, we can actually put them on the equipment or threading a pipe or whatever we need to do without a lot of waste of material. So there is a financial component to it as well. And the one thing about virtual, this is virtual with some augmentation. So you truly have to do the math concepts. You have to pick the pieces up. You truly, other than the actual touch of feeling what it feels, you are doing it with your hands. You're not just watching it hitting A or B and something else is going through the rest of the motions. You're actually having to do the motions. So it becomes more of a repetition. And once you get the repetition, then you can actually go to the piece of equipment that you don't want them tearing up right off the bat, or to the consumables that are so expensive.
Yeah, thank you, Christy. This is something that you can actually come to Ktech if you want to experience it for yourself. We are happy on an individualized basis for you to come and put on a headset. You can dance with a robot. You can do the escape room. We're sharing with you the fun things, but also I think what Christy shared, and there's a very big educational benefit to it. And also it really speaks to the way that people are learning these days. And the VR concept was in our thoughts and plans long before the pandemic. So it has been on Ed's radar for many years. And during the pandemic, we saw an opportunity that we could move it ahead because it's something that we wanted to do. So what we have done in this pandemic is not only work harder, but also to work smarter and work understanding that our COVID world that we live in now, I mentioned the post-COVID world, it is going to exist and everything has changed a little bit. So we must change with it. Some of our students in this class, we call them COVID cases. They are people that had jobs that they no longer have because they were laid off, or they have jobs in the service industry and they realize that for their future, they need to do something else. So we really believe that what we're doing, the way we're teaching, that's going to have a huge impact on every age individual that needs to get skills. Because the reality is that there's a lot of people out there that are going, you know what, maybe I don't need to be in the service industry anymore. Maybe I need to do something different. And I really need to do it rather quickly. I don't want to spend 3 and 4 years to do it. So we feel like we're very poised for that, and we wanted to get ready for that. We have not shared all of our excitement today. There are more exciting things that we're doing. There's just a little throwing that out there that we will be getting with you on that I think you'll also be amazed for. From a recruitment standpoint, the VR is going to be critical for us. We've developed the Ktech lab tour, but we'll also be developing an industry tour as well, so that people in industry that might not want to come here can use that as well. So lots of things. We hope that you feel amazing about being part of an organization that is putting your dollars to good use, that is using our time wisely, and that is not stopping, and we're pivoting and propelling into this new era. Oh, okay. Scott, you asked about the t-shirts. Yes.
Yeah.
We have a link that we sent to you in the chat box, and you can come up here and show us
Our model.
So here's the model. This is the front, and this is the back of our t-shirt. And then we have a long sleeve t-shirt as well for the winter months. And the great thing about your t-shirts, we've got to recruit now. And so we can't necessarily get in the classroom. So if you buy t-shirts from us and wear those, you're a walking billboard, and you can start a conversation with people about what is Ktech. So that's something. And Jill's bringing the long sleeve one. So here's the long sleeve one.
Yeah, I think that's such a great idea.
It's all great material.
Scott said he thought that's a great idea.
Yeah, all very soft. And here's the back of this one too, if you can see it. Do you like it? You do like it?
Yeah, that's awesome. If we have the link, like I see it now, yeah, we can order them. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you have those in stock there, Dorothy, or do we just order them?
We actually have them here in stock. And if you need us to deliver them, we can do that.
I'll be happy.
We can deliver it to whoever.
Dorothy, did the t-shirt have the same information on the back connecting students to jobs?
The long sleeve does. Let me see the short sleeve. No, the short one.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yeah, it just had, the short one has some more. We'll bring it back up again. Hold on. Turn around. So it has connecting students to jobs, hands-on, interactive, one-on-one instruction.
That's awesome. I just didn't see that when she was modeling it earlier.
Yeah, so there's 2 different designs. Anything else? Okay, you guys have been so attentive We love the interaction. We're thankful for your kind comments. We're thankful for your support. Please don't stop. Come and visit us one-on-one. We'll take your temperature, get you through just like everybody else is, and just continue to serve as ambassadors. You have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.